What's up, family? If it's your first time checking out the show, let me know what city, what state you're coming in from. If you're outside of the U.S., let me know what country you represent. Throw up your flag. Family, I need you to smash up the like, smash up the like, smash up the likes. Also, if you have not done so already on YouTube, after you subscribe, there's a little bell next to your subscribe button. Go ahead and click that thing right now so you can get your notifications each time I drop a new video like this. That way you'll be in the loop. I'm gonna let a few hundred of y'all come in, then I'm going in. But in the meantime and in between time, I'm going to give some shout outs to the early birds, starting with Don E. Allen. And he is not surprised. CB Sports TV, what up? CJ Green, Zyro, what's up, DeAndre Durham? Long time no see. Charles Crazy. Kales, what's up, Kales? BB, what up, BB? Kevin Jameson, Memphis in the building. Somebody say, can you hear me? Can you hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay. Thumbs up. Thumbs up if you can hear me. Christine, all right. Appreciate Mike. Appreciate you, Aaron. Appreciate you, Candor. Yeah, cool. Y'all can hear me. I see Stephanie, Miss Mac, Charlene, Charles, Ben Dover, Terry Holder. What's up? What's up, Murph? Darlise. Carlos. What's up, Carlos? Po Boy, Arlington, Texas, in the building. Clifton Woods, Bombay J. John Robinson, Sacktown. What's up, Sacktown? All right, fam. Let me put a picture of my subject up here. So, guy on the right there is Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown has gotten himself in a bit of a bind. Old folks say a bit of a pickle. He's in a pickle. Antonio has been charged with attempted murder. This is a wild, wild west story. So here's the backstory. A judge signed this warrant after the NFL star was being sought for arrest by police in Miami-Dade County on an attempted murder charge related to a shooting that happened outside a celebrity boxing event last month. A judge signed that warrant Wednesday, and it is listed a charge of attempted murder with a firearm. The Miami-Dade State Attorney's Office did not immediately respond to the Post request for comment. The warrant called for Antonio Brown to post a $10,000 bond and be placed under house arrest pending a trial, according to the report. The incident occurred just after midnight, May 16th, in the Little Haiti neighborhood of Miami. And Antonio Brown initially was detained by police and released hours later. Antonio claimed at the time he had been jumped in an attempted robbery outside a brand risk boxing event hosted by streamer Adin Ross. Footage posted on social media detailed the chaotic scene as Brown appeared to be engaged in a fight with several men before falling. The footage later showed him kicking a man on the ground, before it cut to sounds of what people said were gunshots fired. Another video showed Brown in handcuffs being led away by police, but he was later released. According to the warrant, bystanders in the parking lot told police Antonio Brown was the shooter, though no weapon was found on the ex-football player when they patted him down. A pair of spent shell casings and an empty gun holster was found by police, the warrant stated. Detectives with the Miami police later obtained video that showed Brown punching another man, which kicked off the fracas, and it later appeared to show him taking the gun of a security officer before moving forward to the person Brown had punched. Cell phone video recorded 2 gunshots occurring when Brown approached the victim and showed him ducking, while the warrant also stated the victim told Brown began to run toward him with a firearm after the initial fight was stopped. So the victim told police that Brown began to run toward him. Brown began to run toward him with the firearm after the initial fight was stopped. The person identified Antonio Brown on surveillance footage and told investigators he had known him since 2022, according to the report. Brown played 12 years in the NFL, 9 of which were spent with the Steelers, with stints with the Patriots and Buccaneers at the tail end of his career. The wide receiver, who was released by the Bucs at the end of 2021-2022 season after ripping off his pads and jersey on the sideline during a game against the Jets, has been a lightning rod of controversy since he ended his playing career in 2021 with bizarre posts on social media, along with a slew of legal issues that included allegedly exposing himself to a woman in a hotel in Dubai. He also faced a battery. I ain't gonna get into all of that. I don't like when they going down the line talking about what you did, when you got arrested, what you said to your 5th grade teacher, all of that stuff. Let's stick to what's going on right now. Unless those, whatever happened in the past was, related to what you're accused of today. So it looks like they got Antonio on camera. Looks like they got Antonio on camera with the gun. They said it looked like they got him on camera on video surveillance with the gun. The witnesses say that he shot the gun. Well, let me back up. They didn't say that he actually was seen on video with the gun. They said that the victim identified him on the video. Now, what he did, what they do have him on video doing is fighting and kicking the guy. It looked like he was being jumped, so he had a right to defend himself. But y'all know Miami got strict gun laws. You remember the lady whose estranged husband was trying to break into her house, and she fired a warning shot into her own ceiling, and they gave her a 20-year sentence. It was later knocked down. I think it was commuted to maybe a year in prison or something like that. But they initially gave that woman a 20-year sentence and put her in prison. Florida don't play. But the trip part about it is it doesn't seem like that has reduced gun violence in Florida, because every day there's some type of shooting and murder in Florida. And I'm not talking about regular shootings and murder. I'm talking about like some of the worst cases you've ever heard of come out of Florida. Antonio Brown is a character. Now, they say they got bullet casings. They collected bullet casings that was on the ground. So if they collected bullet casings that were on the ground, and well, that won't prove unless they got him on camera with the gun. He'll probably beat that gun charge because, or unless they perhaps, even if they got his fingerprints on the gun, they'd have to prove that he actually fired the gun, because he could have been trying to take the guard's gun to defend himself. I mean, shit, I would do that if I ain't have a gun. I saw somebody had a gun standing by and somebody else was trying to rob me or get at me. Man, I'm finna go for whatever I know. If I got to take a weapon from somebody else, that's what I'll do. So that seemed like a natural reaction to me. So I don't see how he could. I don't see how he could be severely punished for something like that. He got money. He should be able to fight this. Now, if he was just a regular dude and he didn't have any money, they'd probably give him a 50-year sentence. But he should be able to fight this. And, you know, if he get a lawyer, he just needs a convincing lawyer to say, hey, judge, you know, my guy was just trying to defend himself. He was scared. You know, it was 26 of them. They tried to jump my client. You know, you got to always add extra numbers. It was 26, and then you always change it because you forget what lie you told. It was 30 of them, judge. Next day, it was 31. It was 45. It's always a different number. But I don't know why Antonio was walking around with that jewelry on. You know, that's what these dudes be doing. That's what they do. Tell y'all a quick story. This is 90. I think this was like 90. Yeah, this is the mid 90s. This is 90. Actually, this is the end of 90. This is the late 90s. So this is like 98. 98, 99, I'm at this club in Houston, and I got my jewelry on. See, the thing about people like street dudes who wear jewelry, sometimes that ego can get the best of you. Because my mentality was like, it's mine. And if you want to take it, you know, you're going to have to, some come with that, right? So I got my jewelry on. I got the big piece on. I don't even wear it anymore. I don't wear it at all, but it's big. It's like that, like a flat, like that, and all diamonds. Just, you know, I'm just in there stunned. And I got that on. I got the bracelet on. I got the watch on. I'm shining. So I happened to catch my snap, and I see these two dudes sizing me up. I see one dude at the bar right next to me. I see him, you know, and then the other one, see, they try to act like they wasn't together, but I had already watched the other. I had already seen them together before they seen me. So one was at the bar, the other one off like behind me, but off this way so I could see him in my peripheral. And he's doing like this. See, he going like, he doing that there, you know, he like a bird. So I hit the numbers on my phone, and voila, I got about 30 of them standing around. And I didn't even say anything to them, but I just gave them that look like I knew what it was, and then they knew what it was, and they kind of like You know, they whole little energy changed when they saw what was happening. When they saw that play, whole energy changed. I'm talking about I had them there in 60 seconds flat. They was there. You know, because a lot of times, you know, I'm not walking around with a lot of people. I'm not moving around with a lot of people, but you know, I know how to reach out and put the numbers in my favor. So yeah, that happened. And briefly, I thought about getting them in. At first, I thought about just briefly, like letting them think they had a play, and then you know getting like a getting a free one in on them, right? And I see now it ain't even worth it because it might not go that way. You know, it might not go like I want it to go. You know, see that's the thing about conflict. You know, it may not go like you want it to go. You know what you're gonna do, but you don't know what the next person gonna do. Oh man, you right. You sure right, man. I tripped out. I'm catching this title. You right. You right. I said wanted for murder. Wanted for attempted murder. Attempted murder. You right. You right. My bad. My bad. Damn, I let that go. I ain't mean to do that, y'all. I don't do it like that. Gotta fix that. Yeah. When I first saw somebody correcting me on that, I thought they was trolling at first. I thought somebody was saying just calling the title clickbait. I was about to go in and I had to catch myself. Like you sure right, man. I had to read it carefully. My bad, my bad. My apologies, y'all. My apologies. Vicky Slaughter is in the building. What's up, Vicky? Appreciate you. DJ Mitchell, thanks for that call, man. Thanks for putting me up on that. Thanks for correcting me on that. You're right. It is too many broke class dummies. Too many broke. Too many broke crash dummies. You know the thing about that fam is that like uh, I just I, I I did some trip stuff, man, but I didn't target my people. I didn't target people that come from where I come from. I ain't target my own people, and I never did that type of hustling. I never did like snatching chains and purses. That's po hustling to me, man. I just think that's po hustling. I never did that type of hustling, like snatching chains and snatching purses and you know pulling up on people, carjacking and all that kind of stuff, man. Those are some of the worst offenses, and you don't hardly even get nothing most of the time, and but you get a bunch of years for it because it's aggravated. You get a bunch of they'll give you a gang of years for it. So I try to avoid stuff like that. Like to me, those are like textbook crash dummies. I had a little partner growing up. He was a few years younger than me, uh, and he started uh, carjacking. He started like stealing cars and carjacking, and this little dude had everything. His daddy was a lawyer. His mama was an educator. Nice home, had everything he wanted in the house. And one day I was talking to him and I asked him why do he do what he do, and he was like, "Man, it's fun." So he was doing it for the thrill till they shot him in the face. He survived. By the grace of God, he survived. But it messed his face up, disfigured him. And that didn't even stop him. It took him a while before he finally caught his snap. After a few more stints in jail and stuff, he finally caught his snap. He's still here by the grace of God. But man, like, there's a lot of these dudes, man, they don't get inspired by what you have. They become possessed by the things you have, consumed by the things you have. Like when I used to look at growing up, when I would see dudes who had money, had a nice car, pretty girl in the passenger seat, nice clothes, whatever it is that I wanted. If I saw another dude having it, even a big house, I didn't want his. I wanted my own. So I was always inspired by that guy. I was inspired. But these dudes, a lot of these dudes, and it's not just the dudes of today, but it was a lot of dudes like that back in the Gap too. They're not inspired by what you have. Some of them are incensed by what you have, enraged by what you have. They don't want to take your situation and use it as inspiration to do better. They want what you have. They don't want to be inspired to get what you have. They want what you have. They want your car. They want your jewelry. They want your money. They want your girl. And they'll kill you to get it. Obviously, those type of dudes, they don't last long, but you know, that's just how some cats are. And those type of dudes, they don't have good luck. Ghostface, what's up? Beat him down, Eddie McGuire, what's up? Dizzy 912. Y'all show Dizzy some love. The newest member, Desi 912, the newest member of the Willie D Live channel. He's not just a subscriber, he's a member. What's up, Desi? Y'all welcome Desi to the channel, fam. You know, I'm actually surprised Antonio Brown ain't got caught up in something sooner than this with the police, because dude be wild. Dude just be wild. Like he just, you know, and he do a lot of trolling. He get in a lot of people's business. So I'm surprised that this is the first time something like this happened to him. But I seriously doubt that he'll end up in jail behind this, because if it's true that he was being robbed, I think a really good attorney could explain that to a jury, or could explain that to a prosecutor, who would make the prosecutor see, you know what, we're gonna drop the charges, or let's do something. Let's give him some type of deferred adjudication or something, because this ain't what he did was really not all that unreasonable. If you consider somebody being attacked and trying to be somebody robbing this guy, even though he grabbed somebody else's gun to try to shoot the dude, if indeed that did happen, I don't see that being like a malice act. You're trying to defend yourself. I know I'll do whatever I can do to defend myself. I'll do whatever. I mean, anything. I'll do anything to defend myself, like to get somebody off me. Yeah, I shoot, I hit, I stab, I hit you with a rock, I hit you with a stick, I'll bite you, I do whatever. I try to gouge your eyeballs out, whatever, to get you off me. Get off me, man. Get off me. I do whatever. So I totally understand. Boss man said, no, not biting. Yeah, I'll bite, man. I'll bite a patch of meat out of mother. Like, if get them off me, oh yeah, everything go, man. Anything goes. Get off me. That's why I don't bother nobody, man. I don't go around picking fights and stuff, trying to play tough guy, none of that stuff, man. Because I already know trouble easy to get into and hard to get out. And if you live long enough, you keep waking up, trouble gonna come to you. You ain't got to go looking for trouble. Trouble gonna come to you. So just reserve your energy, reserve your resources. You'll be able to use them. Just give it time. Somebody gonna mess with you or your family, and you're gonna have to, handle your business. There's always one that think, fat meat ain't greasy. It's always one. It's always one. Bill Jackson. Have I ever worked with Mike Dean? Worked with Mike Dean? It was my record, Controversy. I'm not Controversy. Going Out Like a Soldier. That is the first record that Mike Dean ever played on. He played on the intro, and it was another song on the album. I think it was Going Out Like a Soldier. Yeah. He did the intro. He played the intro. Boom, boom, boom. He played the guitar on the intro, and he played he played the guitar on Going Out Like a Soldier. That's the first time Mike Dean ever played on a song. A little bit of music trivia, music history. Mega Shaheen, what's up? That's right. War Mac, what it do? All right, fam, that's my time. Antonio Brown, fam. My guess is that the charges will be dropped. This is not a trial situation unless he runs into an overzealous prosecutor. Everybody don't need to be in jail. You know what I'm talking about? Like everybody that's accused of a crime don't need to be in jail. And that don't seem like what he did, what he's been accused of, to me, do not seem like it warrants putting that man in prison. Now, if you wait, Antonio Brown will probably do something to get himself thrown in prison, but that ain't it. So, they shouldn't be trying to make a mountain out of a molehill. You dig what I'm saying? They shouldn't be trying to stretch their authority to lock that man up just because they can. They shouldn't do that. I don't think, dude, what he did or what he's accused of doing is a jail punishable offense. This is one of those situations where there should be some type of moral flexibility. But what say you, fam? Drop a comment. I'd love to hear your thoughts. That's my time. Sean Lunatic, I see you, homie. What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up, Eddie? Boxy Brown. Look out now. Look out, Mike. Christopher Wales. Ernest Moore. All right, fam, that's my time. Enjoy the rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, wherever you are in the world. No more talk.